All right, y'all. The craziest part about this story is that people actually agree with what Barack Obama said. That's the craziest part. You got a bunch of amens in the comments. You got people talking about this is the exact type of leadership that we need in office right now today. The fact that people think that this is a representation of diversity, that this is a representation of inclusion, that this is a representation of equality, the fact that people actually believe that based on what this man just said is absolutely crazy. Because when I listen to what he just said, it's without a doubt one of the most disturbing, predatory statements that I've probably ever heard in my existence. Even further, the way in which he said it really tells you a lot about how these individuals think about children specifically. And here's the thing. When Obama ran the first time, I voted for Obama. I don't remember how old I was, but I'm pretty sure I was like 18 or something like that. I might have been like 18. It was the first time I was able to vote. And Obama was running. My family was voting for Obama. I didn't like in my household. It wasn't there wasn't an option. We're voting for Democrats. We're not voting for Republicans because they don't like black people. You know, like that was the perspective in my household. So, seeing Obama come out and run for president, obviously, I'm gonna vote for Obama. And that's what I did. And now seeing what he actually believes, it really makes me disgusted with myself. Because to say that boys need a gay mentor or a non-binary mentor, just in case they turn out gay, or just in case they turn out non-binary, just in case. That is a crazy statement. But I want you to pay attention to exactly how he said what he said. Mind you, this is from an individual who does not have any sons, right? He only has daughters. Anyway, let's roll the clip.
That's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. Mm-hmm. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right. So that I think is creating that community. I know it's corny, but that's what they need.
Okay, so I'm assuming that he has a lineup of lesbian women to mentor his daughters. I'm assuming that he has a lineup of non-binary women to mentor his daughters. Based on this line of thinking, based on this belief system, based on this recommendation, I'm assuming you're practicing what you're preaching, right? I'm assuming. So why not talk about that? Why not talk about that? Why is it specifically talking about the boys? And here's the thing. I don't know the full context of the conversation that they were having beforehand, but it does seem like there is a specific call out to try to make men more feminine. It does seem like there's a specific agenda to try to make that happen. And when I see clips like this, it only further makes me believe that. Now, I also saw this clip, which I wanted to play. Let me just press play and then y'all can hear what she's saying, because I agree.
I believe for the rest of my life, I'll be doing the Lord's work. I'm going to make sure no black person is a Democrat ever again. I hope you got enough common sense and critical thinking to understand what's going on right now. I'm about to give you all the facts. Every day I think I'm going to come on here and tell you what these clowns have done to you. Can you just notice that they never got a solution for you and they always calling you a victim? That's number one. You always need Medicaid. You always need food stamps. You always need government assistance. Why? Why you can't need a job? Why you can't need an education? Why you can't need a better job? Why you can't need a house? Why you can't need a better car? Why you can't need better things than government assistance? Lyndon Johnson said he gonna have these voting for Democrats for the next 200 years because that's how goofy you is. They filibustered the Civil Rights Act. It was the last record they had in Congress. They took men out of your homes. They would rather them be homosexual than to be a man in a home raising a family. Do y'all not see this? They claim to be Christians, but do everything against God. Are y'all Christians? I do not understand what's happening. Do you believe God's word or do you make it fit to your lifestyle? I do not understand what's going on. Was the dashikis not enough? When they walk ass out there with dashikis on and ass ain't never, you ain't never been to Africa. But they thought the dashiki was unity for you. They play in your damn face. They play in your face and you let them do it. You let them work up your emotions. You let them build fear. What happened to us being slaves now? We supposed to be slaves 6 months into the Trump presidency and all locked up in concentration camps. These is it.
I agree to an extent because I think the whole game is rigged. I think the whole game is rigged. I think the whole game of politics is rigged. It was never to actually benefit us. It was always to make sure that the individuals in those positions get what they want at the mercy of the people. That's all. That's what it is. It was always supposed to be some sort of control mechanism in the package of freedom. So I think the whole game is rigged. I think regardless of what side you subscribe to, left or right, whatever, they're going to tell you what they think you want to hear. They're going to make promises that they think you want made. And most of the time, they're not going to make good on those promises. Most of the time, they're going to manipulate you emotionally. Most of the time, they're going to pit you against one another to instill strife in arguments and disagreement. And then they're going to doctor up a solution that they're never actually going to implement. And it's just going to continue to be this cycle every 4 years, over and over and over and over and over again. Now, I think some are more trustworthy than others. But at the end of the day, God is the one who we should be submitting to. And we are called to respect our governing authorities, right? We're called to be lawful up until the point that the government is telling us to go against God. And to some people, depending on who you ask, that point has already happened, depending on who you ask. But yeah, Obama, for example, he said he was a Christian. He probably might even still say that he's a Christian. There was that clip that was going around that went viral where Obama was on stage and he was doing some type of speech, and somebody, I think I might have it. Hold on, let me see. Somebody essentially interrupted him, right? And said that Jesus is Lord. This one right here. Hold on, let me see.
God is the one and only true living God, the creator. Christian God is the one and only true living God, the creator of heaven and the universe. Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
I agree.
You are an antichrist because you said.
So he said, I agree. There's a longer clip where he gets more into it, but he says, I agree. In the longer clip, he actually claims it. And, you know, he further elaborates that he believes that Jesus Christ is Lord. So that's what he says, right? So why is that not the solution in the case of mentorship for young men? Why is Jesus Christ, the Bible, the truth? Why is the truth not the solution for mentorship for young men? Why is that? Is it because the truth doesn't fit the agenda that you're trying to accomplish politically? Is that the case? Is that the case? I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think. Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.